Well, good evening, folks. I am your host, Isaac David Brigmond, and for so many minutes, we're going to be talking about all things WWE. Well, okay, most of what I'm going to talk about is not just updates on it, things that you need to know about, but also the fact of the story being, let's see, what else? We could talk about Raw, SmackDown, and things that I myself have kept up with. So I may not cover everything, but I'll cover enough to where you'll get the gist of where I'm coming from, and then you'll say, "Oh, okay, that's what he does." But all right, did you see Raw tonight? It was last night by now, but the story goes like this: on Monday Night Raw, if y'all saw it, well, the Hardy Boys came back out again, and it was actually Jeff Hardy was supposed to, well, actually did go against Cesaro, and when he did go against Cesaro, he won his title against Cesaro. Well, that was good for me because I seen that and I got real happy about it. So the story went that later on that night there was supposed to be a match where we had see Braun Strowman was basically being Braun Strowman, you know how he is. He's mean and bad and everything else. Well, he turns around and he's a bad butt in the ring. And Kurt Angle, the commissioner of Monday Night Raw, comes out and he talks with Braun Strowman and basically had to talk about uh, how Braun Strowman shouldn't even have been there that night because he should have been suspended for what he done to Roman Reigns the other night, which was last Monday night. And also, when Braun Strowman heard that, he was threatening to. It was like saying that Kurt Angle should give him a shot at performing tonight, well, which would have been Monday night, or either he would do something. It's an or else story. So he basically was going to go back there and take all the people in the back, and he would take them and basically just beat the mess out of everybody in the locker room. Well, he was doing that. He even knocked out the thing of dust and truth, which is basically gold dust and truth. Well, he knocked them out. Then he was going to put Kalisto in the trash. I mean, he was going through these people like they were Swiss cheese, throwing them around, picking them up, just doing all kind of mess to them. Well, he got so far in it, and then Big Show tackled him about with like a football type spear, and him pick on somebody your own size, Braun. So because of that, Braun Strowman ended up with a match with Big Show. Well, when it came time for the match to start, well, they were trying to do all they could to take each other out. Well, then next thing you know, well, as Braun Strowman and Big Show was on a top pole, they were trying to get each other down. Well, Braun Strowman finally got the Big Show down. Well, right at the moment they hit the mat, the whole mat fell apart. It was like flattened like a pancake, and I had just lost it. I was shocked that it happened. Then they make it sound like that Braun Strowman was the one that won instead of Big Show, and I'm thinking, well, really, they never really said it. Oh, Braun Strowman won. They just basically left it where Braun Strowman walked out looking like the victor. Never heard the official, he won. I believe they should have done a rematch, but you know how that goes. Hold on a minute, folks. But anyway, I was getting a message from someone. But anyway, the point was, you know how it goes recently that in on WrestleMania we got the return of the Hardy Boys, which I think it was long overdue that they should have done been back. But you know that's how things are. What's your opinion about wrestlers who try to act as if they they basically are friends with other wrestlers. Because a lot of people say that that little bond that some wrestlers have with others is fake, that it's not real and it don't mean nothing. I say it's not fake, it's real. Sometimes it is. I mean, like the one about Perkins and well, now that one I don't know whether it's real or not. They say that it is, but some say it ain't. Hold on. Well, I was kind of doing something right now. I was trying to do a recording of something on the internet, but beyond that, we need to go to bed anyway. But the point is, I think that when you have wrestlers who's, if they're out there like Hardy Boys and Samoa Joe and Big Show, what do they have in common? They're veteran wrestlers who still wrestle. Veteran meaning they've been doing this for a long time. Not the veteran as in they retired. But see, when you are still wrestling, and if you can actually still do it, then get out there and do it. Hustle your butt off. Don't let the world think you're too old to do anything no more. Because I've seen a bunch of guys get out there and do their thing, and they were good at it, and they still were good at it. And well, they just don't have the heat that some guys have, and some of them have more heat. Well, like Jericho is another one of them, for instance. And you know what? It doesn't mean the older you get, if you can still wrestle, you have to be arrogant about yourself, or if you're a young guy, you need to think you're better than everyone else. Cause look, I'm not trying to be ugly about nothing. I'm not. I'm not. But you got to understand that during this situation, if you got a wrestler who can still hold his own in the ring, go for it, man. I mean, what's the problem saying that you have to go through all this mess? Hold on. I mean, if you can hold your own out there, then I think you should still do it. But if you can't, quit. Quit that mess and retire. I mean, it's still up in the air about The Undertaker when he was going against Roman Reigns. And, you know, right now, I don't think that it's a good idea to do that, to leave your fans up in the air about what are you doing right now. Are you still wrestling or are you retired? See, when you leave it like that, you've left the error for like, hey, man, this guy he could be still doing something, or he could have been retired for good. We don't know because they don't really want us to know much about what is going on with these people. They don't tell us nothing. They don't want us to know nothing because why? I guess it's because they want to go out on an era of mystery. Want us to know that you're not going to know what's going on with them, but while you're not knowing, they're having a moment of rest and relaxation. So they can come out one day and say, I quit. Or either, I'm going to come back just in a different way. And I'm telling you, folks, if you want to be a good wrestler, you have to hustle. And you do understand that that also means that don't get upset if you're on Monday night and you go to Tuesday night, because there's a shakeup going on right now, and they've been trading off folks. One go one way, one go the other. And you know what? There's still this big old fuss trying to blame Seth Rollins for what happened to Stephanie McMahon, when Seth Rollins, actually, if you look at the replays that they keep showing over and over, he moved out of the way just in time for Triple H to run into Stephanie, and she fell off the ring. Now, isn't that funny that after they brought that story up, that same night that they did the updates on that story, that was the same night that they had that Hall of Fame show. And when they had the Hall of Fame show, Triple H was there and Stephanie was there too, looked like it. So explain that to me. How does that go? How do you do that? And you know what, Kurt Angle, I'm not against you or nothing, but I think some of your humor was over the top funny because you did a lot of stuff that I wouldn't understand why. And you know, if Hulk Hogan wanted to, there could be a place in wrestling for him, even if it's not back as a wrestler. It could be something like, oh, I'm a wrestler, ex wrestler, future announcer, or ex wrestler, something in the wrestling field. Because look at old Terry Funk. He tried that himself. He was so dedicated to wrestling. He knew he was too old to actually wrestle at one time, but he still tried to come back to do something in wrestling. So that tells you right there, he had the heart and the tenacity and the dedication to try to do something. I mean, a lot of guys, they know they can't wrestle no more, but they try to come back in some form to prove to us that they can make it out there. They can still have the chops to do something in the wrestling career. I mean, you never know. We may sit back and see returns of old wrestlers coming back in new ways. It didn't last long for Sting. Which Sting? Do you realize in the TNA, you know, we got people like, uh, let's see, uh, Jeff Jarrett. Yep, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Oh, Jeff Jarrett. Now think about it. Jeff Jarrett was trying to come. Well, actually, did make a comeback, and how long that'll last, I don't know. See, if you are a veteran wrestler, meaning you wrestled in the past, and then you decide to come back in the future, you know that tells the world that you have this heart that says that you love it so much that you aren't out there trying to make a statement, but to say that you took the blows and you are here to show that you still want to take some more of those blows for your fans. Look at John Cena. I mean, besides the times that he's went to make movies, he's pretty much been there for the fans and pretty much been what he was and what he is and what he's gonna be. And Miz is jealous of it, so he makes fun of John Cena every chance he gets because he didn't even believe that John Cena would even propose to Nikki, and he did, and it shocked Miz because Miz is all about how can you humiliate the people you don't like or that you're jealous of. It's a jealousy thing between Miz and John Cena, if you ask me, but that's what I'm saying. Now, time's about up for evening's episode of WWE Talk with myself, Isaac David Brigmond, and I just hope y'all like what you heard. If you do like it, then tune in for the next one. I'll try to do 2 shows a week. One on Monday, well, either Monday night or either early Tuesday morning, and I'll try to do one after wrestling on Tuesday night. So it'll be Monday night and Tuesday night. I'll try doing this, and if I can do that, I will. So there you go. And I hope y'all have a good evening, and I hope that you stay tuned to both this show and to wrestling before this show, because what you miss, if I kept up with it, I will tell you about it. But still, that Braun Strowman thing got me like, wow. And if y'all saw it, y'all probably know, y'all felt the same way. Well, good evening and God bless. Hello. What's up?